Hey guys, we've got with us Pavan from Bangalore today, friend of mine. And hi, Pavan. Okay.
Hi,
and
Anshu.
okay. So let me introduce first of all. Pavan is running a school in Bangalore. He's already authored 4 books and also he is a TEDx speaker. So welcome, Pavan.
And above all of that, I'm Anshu's friend. That makes me
Oh,
more
wow,
happier
wow.
than any of these things. So thank
Thank
you, Anshu,
you.
for having me on this interview. I'm very proud to be on this particular call and the interview. I'm thankful to the Mindfest miracles. I'm all yours. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, Pravan, I'm just going to be asking you a few questions
Hmm.
about life, its challenges, and the pursuit of happiness as such, right? You can answer
Okay,
as per your wish. Cool. So,
sure.
Pavan, first thing I would like to know from you is what's your idea of
Hmm.
happiness?
My idea of happiness is doing what I really love the most. And
Mm-hmm.
that comes to me when I'm actually working with people, especially children. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, basically, I chose to be a teacher, not by chance, but out of choice. There's a
Okay.
huge difference between these two words. If
Mm-hmm.
you realize the difference between these two words, you will fully agree to every sentence that I'm trying to, express. So these two words, like
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
chance and choice. There are a lot of
Right.
people who are doing things in their life by chance, and there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who are doing it by choice. And
Right.
eventually, the ones who are doing anything out of their choice are bound to be happy forever. For them, work is not work, it is just their
Mm-hmm.
choice. So they're living
Mm-hmm.
every moment. And people who are doing things by chance, by
Mm-hmm.
force of someone, by a toss of a coin. Maybe
Uh,
I've seen tons of students who select their courses in colleges by percentages and not by what is closer to their heart, and they
right.
go by their friends. So happiness for me, to be specific in the question, is it's completely going by your choices, not by
Okay.
chances. And my choices are, teaching. That gives me a lot
Mm-hmm.
of happiness. So I teach math for children in the kinesthetic way, that is
Mm-hmm.
getting away from the regular books and the boards, and teaching them
Right.
through activity, movement, fun, games, shouting, screaming, interaction. And I believe math can be learned like that. That is
Okay.
happiness for me. And the second
Mm-hmm.
thing is doing what you love the most. I mean, this is a cliched answer. Most of them would have, given this particular answer, but I would
Mm-hmm.
still want to, say that, anybody in this planet, you,
Mm-hmm.
you meet them, and if they're doing what they love the most, they're the
Mm-hmm.
luckiest and the blessed people.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you a question here. You said you've been working with students. So, what age group actually these students are?
See, because I have the school in Bangalore, it's actually called Achieve School of Education. It's a
Mm-hmm.
studio school. So we
Mm-hmm.
start from 2 years plus till grade 10. So the
Oh,
2 to 6 year old is called the preschool here in Bangalore in Karnataka. Plus,
okay.
then the grade 1 to grade 10 starts. So basically, I have children from 2 years to 14 to 15 years of age. And
Okay.
I address all children. More than address, I would never say address. I interact with all children.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, I teach 10th grade maths, so I deal with them on a
Okay.
day-to-day basis. So I teach them
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Okay. So as you've been around such a lot of youth, a lot
Hmm.
of the youth, rather, I should say, teenagers and kids. So,
Hmm.
what difference do you find what they have and what
Hmm.
we adults don't usually? I mean,
Mm, a problem for an adult is still a problem,
okay.
but a problem for a child is a challenge sometimes. So I have some, smart children who are coming up and telling me that, how should I overcome my challenge? But they
Mm-hmm.
don't use the word problem. But a lot of
Right.
adults, number one,
Mm-hmm.
their mind and their state gets changed the minute a problem, is kept aside. They fail to
Okay.
see their problem as a challenge. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing, they think their problem is bigger than themselves. And the
Okay.
third thing is they see a problem as something that is not letting them grow. So if you see all the three statements, especially the last one, a
Mm-hmm.
problem is not letting them grow and it's pulling them down. So if you
Mm-hmm.
ask adults, what is the reason why are you not successful? They would say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this problem, I didn't have money at home. My parents weren't supportive. I didn't make the
Mm-hmm.
best decisions. They're more into giving reasons because of their problems.
Mm-hmm.
But a child, in the school is actually, I have a problem. Yeah, I have a problem. Okay, so what? The
Uh-huh.
child sitting next to me also has a problem, and they don't even say that
Okay.
it's a problem. Most of the
Right.
time they're even saying things like it's a challenge. So how do I
Mm-hmm.
overcome my shyness? By asking that
Right.
question, they're overcoming their shyness of
Mm-hmm.
what it is. So adults take their problems very seriously, and
Yeah. Okay.
children don't take their problems very seriously. They take it very light.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, one of the interesting things that I've seen is in front of
Mm-hmm.
the school, there was a
Mm-hmm.
parent who was having a conversation with another parent of the same class. And
Okay.
this conversation was so beautiful. Beautiful for me because I learned a lot from it. Not
Okay.
beautiful for them because it was quite bitter for them. So
Okay.
these two kids had a fight in the class, and the
Mm-hmm.
fight has gone up to the levels of the parents. And the
Mm-hmm.
parents are now standing in front of the school and having a conversation saying that this is what your child did wrong. And this parent is like, no, this is not what my child is. I know my child. This is what your child has done wrong. They both,
Mm-hmm.
escalated the conversation to a fight.
Oh my
And
God.
interestingly, these two
Mm-hmm.
parents don't sit together today in a common function of the school. If
Oh.
there's a parents teachers meeting, the parent tries to avoid looking into the eyes of each other. They try
Mm-hmm.
not to get into a conversation.
Mm.
Coincidentally,
The kids must have
after the
patched up, have they?
exactly
Yeah.
exactly
Right.
you, you
Okay.
you hit the you hit the nail on the dot. Okay, now
Right.
the fight was between kids. And
Mm-hmm.
immediately after few hours, or I think probably days, they had an inter-house competition, and these two kids are from the same house. So
Mm-hmm.
they had to fight against another house in throw ball. And
Mm-hmm.
these two kids, the fight between them melted like, ice cube in front of sunshine. They just forgot that they actually fought between each other. And
Mm-hmm.
sooner or later, I'm sure they just patched up just like that in few minutes possible.
Oh, wow.
And they're friends. So somewhere down the line, when adults fight, they just don't fight with the logic of the argument, but they
Mm-hmm.
fight between two egos. They fight between two identities. They fight between
Mm-hmm.
who am I, who are you, kind of,
Right.
fights. But it's
Mm-hmm.
brilliant to watch children fight because children fight between issues and not between human beings. And
Right.
adults fight between two human beings and issues are kept aside. So it's time that for happiness,
Mm-hmm.
people need to learn how to fight issues, not persons. And if that is the case today, we would keep fighting on issues, but never
Yeah.
with people, because even after the fight, we would step out of the room and have a cup of coffee together because we've just argued amongst an issue. So if I have, touch it, I will never have an issue with Anshu for sure. But if I may have, every
Mm-hmm.
time you are discussing about that particular issue, we are only
Mm-hmm.
going to talk about issue, and you and I are again friends.
Yeah, obviously.
So this is missing in a lot of adults is what I think, Anshu.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let me ask you one more question here. You mentioned
Mm-hmm,
that you've been using the kinesthetic approach to
mm-hmm,
bring about the children. Are
mm-hmm.
you there?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you?
there. This is
Okay.
small hiccup. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
So let me repeat. So you have this kinesthetic approach to bring
mm-hmm,
about mathematics as real fun to the students. Could there be
mm-hmm.
any kinesthetic approach for the adults, especially to enjoy
Hmm.
life in a better way rather than taking it as some kind of punishment, you know.
Okay, so I would want to ask you a question back here, Anshu.
Yeah.
Think about a moment in the past
Hmm.
where you felt extremely uh, moment of joy, a moment of pride, a moment of
Hmm.
happiness.
Hmm.
Can you think about the past? Past means any time from now, to even your
Yeah.
childhood, to your teenage, college, business, growth, anytime.
Thousands,
So is there a,
thousands.
is yeah is there one specific moment which you would like to share with me now, which gave you maximum joy and happiness?
Well, just an hour back, I was playing with my kid. It was like real funny. I mean, so
Nice. How was it? Describe the scene for me. How did you play? What was it like?
now he was jumping around, and we were just having some kind of boxing championship. So he was just
Nice.
pulling me down,
Brilliant.
and I
Wow.
was pulling him down. That was like funny.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic. And how was your body movement at that time? And
a
how different
lot.
was it from your normal? Yeah, can you expand on that? Can you add more light to me? When you were playing, how was your body movement, and how was it when you
Too
generally sit down
excited.
and work?
Yeah, like, I know what you're
Hmm.
getting at. Yeah, I was too
Nice.
excited, and so was he. Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant. And,
Hmm.
and what kind of movements do you make when you're excited?
Yeah. Laugh a
When
lot,
you're
smile a
excited and when
lot.
you're playing? Yes, laugh,
Yeah, laugh a
smile,
lot,
and
smile a lot. Then there's open body
nice
language, right?
open body
And
language.
yeah, lots of physical stuff.
Brilliant physical stuff.
Yeah.
So, Anshu, every time, see, life throws challenges at us. It will
Hmm.
eventually throw challenges at you, and certain challenges, if we allow them to sink in, though they're not necessarily to be, allowed inside our brains, the
Hmm.
state of mind of a person can actually go a little low. And if you
Right.
ask me, the kinesthetically, the solution is get into that excitement mode, get into that open body language, get
Hmm.
into that mode of
Hmm.
how you're boxing, punching with the energy with your
Hmm.
child. And while you were doing that, I don't think so you were actually even allowing the room in your mind to think
Hmm.
even about 1% about your problems, because 99.9% of adults, when they are with children drag them down from problematic mindset to an energetic level. So this is the best way to use the kinesthetic approach in this, and
Okay.
be with children, play a game,
Hmm. Hmm.
and make sure you are absolutely brilliant in terms of using your body effectively. Don't be
Okay.
in that sunken feeling. See, it's like this. If there is
Hmm.
a thought that is not an empowering thought in our mind, that
Hmm.
has its impact on the body. And I
Hmm.
also believe that the reverse of this is true. If you change the body, that
Right.
changes the thoughts in the brain also. So let's
Absolutely.
say if you had a dull day, let's say if you had a boring day, and let's say you switch on some music, and then you
Hmm.
start dancing, then you
Hmm.
cannot afford to have those same thoughts of dull and boring thoughts which were earlier in the day to
Hmm.
continue when you're actually dancing. Just try this as a simple exercise. Anytime anybody who is watching this particular video, keep this at
Hmm.
the back of your mind running forever, which means
Right.
by chance you get a little low in terms of energy, just switch
Hmm.
on some music and just start dancing, and notice how these changes take place in your body. And I want you to realize that you're no longer thinking those thoughts. Try it. Don't go by
Yeah.
my word. Try it and come back. So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right here. Okay, we've all done all that, in our seminars, workshops, and So
yep,
what happens
yep.
is, what I have noticed till the moment, people are in front of us, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, jolly, happy. The moment they go back, they're, life happens, and
Yes.
they say, "Oh my God, that was not, something I could carry on all my life. Now this life is
True.
shitty, and now what to do?" So, what would you
So,
say
so
to
Anshu,
these people?
Anshu, if you ask me, I'm sorry, I will cut you in.
Yeah.
Between this analogy of yours, I would like to bring in a very interesting perspective. You
Please
know,
do.
life happens, like you say, when they go out of the seminar halls, life
Right.
happens, and that results in the state of mind or the outcomes of whatever their mindset is. In between these two,
Mm-hmm.
is what I call as a transition phase. Life
Mm-hmm.
happens and you react to it. That is, you have an outcome or a result to this. But in between these two, what if you can alter your thoughts? What if you can bend your normal ways of pattern? What if you could
Mm-hmm.
learn and put in new learning, like, okay, life happens, and this result now is
Mm-hmm.
going to bring me this and this, that is a bad feeling, shouting, screaming, negative
Right.
empowerment, and all those. In between these two, if the
Mm-hmm.
human beings can allow a small learning to come inside, and
Mm-hmm.
that could be what you are actually promoting, the
Mm-hmm.
miracles happen
Yeah.
if people identify that small gap between these two, because this is the strength and test of, willpower and resilience in people, because this kind of life keeps happening for everyone. Life keeps happening and they keep reacting. It's there for everyone. It's there for me, it's there for you. But pausing after what happens life, introspecting and saying, okay, I'm going to fight back tomorrow. This is not the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, and I
Mm-hmm.
will work towards bringing in a difference, should
Mm-hmm.
come between this thin gap, and then there lies the secret. This has worked for me. I'm no big
Mm-hmm.
gyani, I'm no big sadhu, I'm no big
Oh, nobody
achiever.
is.
I'm still 30, in my 30s of age, but
Mm-hmm.
I have seen this work for me, this work for children, and
Mm-hmm.
this works brilliantly for children. Every time children have, an issue, and when I allow them to keep their issues aside and dance for the moment, their issue melts down. Why can't adults do it? Why do they live in their past failures or
Yeah.
worried futures and not live in
Mm-hmm.
the moment?
Right.
We all seen this. It is that thin gap where I call the moment. I should thank you for bringing this up, and thank you for bringing this particular conversation. I don't know
Yeah.
about your viewers. I don't know about the audience, Anshu. I'm sure
Right.
this part is going to, reinforce a lot of learning for me, because you're bringing this out from me. As simple as that.
Yeah, in a way, like you see, these conversations always, bring out the best. Maybe, you start thinking a bit more. I mean, right?
Yeah,
It happens to me
true, very true.
always, right?
It's stretching my mind for sure. Thank you
It
so
is,
much.
yes. Okay, one last thing I want to ask, related
Mm-hmm.
to what we've already talked about a
Mm-hmm.
minute before.
Okay.
Um, there are two sets of people. One who think
Mm-hmm.
life happens to them, and the other
Mm-hmm.
ones the life who think the life happens for them. The to them life happens to them people are really leading
Mm-hmm.
sad life.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be your kind of your best message to people who
Mm-hmm.
feel that life is happening to them, not
Mm-hmm.
for them?
So if I may think of my few cents that I actually have to add here,
Hmm.
life keeps happening for everyone. In fact, it doesn't wait. It doesn't even pause. It
Right, it
it
doesn't.
doesn't. People who are poor sometimes think, or tend to think that
Hmm.
life is a lot easier for rich people, and
It's not.
people who are rich sometimes tend to think that life could be even more easier for me if I was even more richer. And this is a loop. This is a
Yeah,
loop. This is
absolutely.
a never ending loop where no one's actually happy in this particular
Hmm.
whole process, if I may say. While
Hmm.
I actually make this statement,
Hmm.
only those people for whom life has been tough, they know how life is for them. It's very easy for a lot
Hmm.
of speakers, coaches, and trainers
Hmm.
who are
Hmm.
sitting at a very brilliant, comfortable place in their
Hmm.
life to
Hmm.
tell them, change your life, move on,
Okay.
come on, face life, do this, do
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But somehow, My message is for those people for who they think their life is actually hard because they believe that it is hard. I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell them change your life, move on. Only they know, Anshu, how difficult it is for them.
Yeah.
Only
It's their
they know.
reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Those
Mm-hmm.
people who have not taken, their parents' assets and made it slightly better,
Mm-hmm.
they know the value of life better than the people who have just taken, the wealth from their parents and made
Yeah.
it 10, 15, 20% more. So
Mm-hmm.
for these people, my message is very, very simple. You're already fighting life. You're already, gone through so much, and there's no better
Right.
person who can understand you than yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
don't expect the world to understand your misery. Don't
Mm-hmm.
go out and keep screaming to the whole world saying that I was unlucky, this life is
Yeah.
like this time
Mm-hmm.
it's over, maybe
Uh,
next life I should look for something like this, maybe next life my religion or my faith or whatever you believe in, the spirituality will bless me with
mm-hmm.
something better. No,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only message that I want to, give for these people, and if I have to be very, very specific, is maybe these people should fight back.
Right.
If life
Okay.
is really hard, then
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm-hmm.
harder. Because um, I have you did introduce me saying that I run a school, and
Mm-hmm.
you did tell me that I train a lot of children. I work passionately. In fact, 7 of my children are becoming
Mm-hmm.
authors. In spite of all of this, there are tons of people, tons of children and adults who look up to me for them, for helping them to get out of it. But life
Mm-hmm.
hits me hard too. Life hits
Obviously.
me hard too. I'm just like one of you all. Maybe when I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking to you, I'm at a better state of mind. When I'm contributing, I'm at a better mindset. But when life hits me hard, the only thing that I do is fight back harder. And I believe in
Wow.
that sentence, fight back harder like you never fought before. One
Right.
day, me, you, and everybody else who are watching this particular interview is
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to be a photograph on the wall.
Sure.
No choice in that. And when that point comes in that you have to be a photograph, the only distinction that makes is, are you just a photograph someone somewhere where they just want to put it across, or
Mm-hmm.
will people stand in front of your photograph, offer a silent message,
Mm-hmm.
or offer a small flower in front, or maybe even have tears rolling on their cheeks, speaking about you, saying that, you taught me how to fight life in spite of all the challenges that you had, or any other message that these people who think that life has always given them than what they wanted to, these people
Mm-hmm.
can pause there and think at how would they want people to look at their photograph in future and talk about
Mm-hmm.
them. That's the
Wow.
only message that I would want to give Anshu. That's the best thought that comes to my
Obviously,
mind
yeah,
now.
that's really awesome. Cool. So I've taken too much of your time, Pavan. It was really great chatting with you. And I hope if I call you back, you'll be ready to do this again.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm
Okay.
sure. More strength, more energy to your interviews. May you get everybody, in this planet who are worthy enough of contributing to other people on your channel.
Mhm.
May your channel grow as big as how you dream of, and may more people who really need to listen to you should actually
Mhm.
listen to you. And may you reach the ones who really need this message, and that blessing that comes to you. After all, this is just a video. This
Yeah.
is just a video which is, but the impact of this just a video can alter someone's life through your vision, Anshu. So more
Yeah.
power to you, more energy to you, and to all
Mhm.
the listeners that who listening to this particular video, spread the message of what Anshu is doing. And this is a passion, this is a vision for him of what he's doing. Look at his topic, the Mind Fest of Miracles. I don't call it as a fest, I call it a
Mhm.
festival, because we
Yeah.
Indians believe in festival. We eat, we celebrate, we
Right.
meet, we greet. So I call this a festival. thank you for having me here. It is absolutely my pleasure. The learning and the joy has been mine, and thank you for bringing these points out of a teacher who just teaches math every day. So
Thank you.
thank you, Anshu, for
Thank you
everything.
so much.
My
All the
pleasure.
best to
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you,
And
thank you too.
see you soon. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Okay.